you got? How was the show on Saturday?
Magnificent. Magnificent. What a good time. Billy
Yeah.
Dixon. Like that guy. Billy Dixon does little it's like a little Buddy Holly.
He played with you guys?
He opened up. Opened up.
Oh,
Great guy, and he's gonna come on the show. We're gonna have a little chat with him.
nice. He coming on today?
No.
My hat looks crooked.
Ah, you look good. Speaking of crooked, how are the Stones?
They were good. I mean, they're in their 80s and they're still performing and they still got a 2-hour show and a big stadium show, lots of hits. It was fun. Yeah.
No breaks or anything, or
No. Well, they do the way they do the breaks is Mick takes a little bit of a break about, an hour and 15 minutes in. And then they have um, Keith Richards does like usually like a 3-song set. And then from Keith, they all come back out and they've kind of finished with the hits. So
yeah.
Keith is probably taking a little bit of a break when Mick's doing his thing. And then when Keith is doing his, Mick is resting.
What was the encore?
Satisfaction.
Of course.
Yeah. They always open with Start Me Up and they always end with Satisfaction.
How was
But yeah,
Soldier Field? Is it worth it getting down on the turf?
I wasn't down low.
That's what I'm saying. Is it worth? I haven't. I think I saw Pink Floyd there in the '90s. That was the last time I was there.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends, I guess, if you want to stand. I mean, if you're on the main floor, I'm not sure how much you're sitting because to be able to see it, especially if you're further back, let's say 25 rows, beyond the 25 rows, I think you got to stand the whole time. So, yeah.
I have to get
But
motivated to watch myself.
yeah, it was fun. It was a good show. I mean, tickets probably were a little bit more money than I should have spent, but can't take it with you when you go.
Well, people pay up.
Yeah, well, people paid big money, but if you went on the day of the concert, there were people buying tickets for way less than face value. But, then you're living on the edge. You don't know if you're going to go. You got to
Like
wait and
literally,
see.
you're in the corner.
Not necessarily. They could get a good seat. They just, it's supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
When the first tickets first go on sale, there's a big push. There's a big demand, and then people all jump on them like idiots, like me that spent full price. But I'll tell you what, if you wait and you don't mind going last minute, you could just go the day of and look for tickets and find them. People did, and for less than what I paid, better seats.
So,
I
so
don't
we
know. I don't plan too much.
so we played Madcats again. Love Madcats. Actually met Madcat, Laura.
I saw it. Yeah, he's the guy at the bar, right? Served
Yeah.
you beer.
I had a
He's a nice guy.
I had to have a beverage at the end. I was parched, Mike.
Yeah, how long did you guys play? Was it a full
90.
2 hours?
90.
90? Yeah.
We're gonna do 90 at Palatine Fest on the 4th, and then I think 2 hours in Rockford.
Wow. You add in some new stuff?
14th.
We're gonna have to this sidebar with Pete that gonna have to come up with more songs or duplicate some songs. I don't think we have 2 hours.
Yeah, we do. Got plenty.
Okay.
Got plenty.
We
You
gotta
just
wait.
keep jamming out. You just keep jamming the tunes.
That's right. That's how that goes. So where's our kids here? Let's see.
Told him not to have the coffee.
I told him. Oh, did you talk to him?
No.
I told him to come in at 5:15 so that we can get set up, and they're not here. Though he's texting me on the side.
Tell him just to call in.
Okay.
There's a dial-in number on there. Just give him the phone number and he can just call in. We'll put a picture up.
Let's look for the phone number. Oh, wow.
Oh, here, Tafoya. Here we go. Hold on.
Coming on?
Here we go. Great call, Laura. Tell him 5:15. Genius. Michael Tafoya.
You know he doesn't have his mic on. His mic is not on.
Mike, where's your mic?
We asked him to unmute. He's figuring it out. You know,
Hello. Hello.
he's going to be a
Miami.
veteran.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Dude,
Sound
Come on.
magnificent.
Hey, I got Leslie here with me. Can you see us? I can't
No.
see it.
Push
You
the
want-
little camera figure.
Here. I said, ask to start video. See if that little button pops up there.
You know.
Oh, yeah. I feel it.
oh yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
Leslie.
Getting a hold of you too.
Leslie.
Craig's gonna get Craig's. I sent him the thing, so he'll be getting a hold of you at 5.
He'll show up soon. Okay.
He's very prompt. You got 2 more minutes.
It's like a bar, you know, everybody shows up whenever they want. That's fine. Leslie, hi, I'm Pete. This is Bongo Mike. I don't know if you know Laura.
Yeah, you know Laura.
Here's Craig.
There he is.
Ooh, look
On
at
his
this.
iPhone.
Where are you guys at, Mike?
We're at Leslie's.
Oh, you got a lot of axes on the wall there, Leslie.
Yeah, she got all
Thank
kinds
you.
of stuff.
Yeah, looks cool. She's the bass player there for Tafoya.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
Craig's
got
the drummer,
guitars up
the
there.
3-piece. Yeah.
She's got the Hello Kitty guitar, and then the what's the other one? The
Emily Strange.
Emily Strange. I don't know what this stuff is.
And
but
then my husband got me this. This is a Sean Ezalt version of by Schecter.
Cool.
Whatever.
Schecter,
Very
man.
nice.
Yeah, but I can't stand up and play it no more. It's too heavy.
Yeah.
Oh.
With a tambourine attached. That's fancy.
No, that was on the floor. I
then
put
she just
that
had to
there.
put on a monkey suit. Look like a monkey.
Right?
You
Hey,
know,
Craig.
hands
What's up,
and-
Greg?
How are you?
Big
Good.
Craig and Mike Orfanos know each other, huh?
Yes. Yep.
Hey, man. How are you?
Good, good. How you been?
Good. Busy.
Good, good. That's
Building a
good.
house, I see.
Yeah. It's a challenge.
I bet, yeah.
Welcome to the party. Okay, so we got Michael Tafoya back. We got Leslie on bass, and then Craig. I don't know Craig. Craig, who are you?
I'm the drummer and singer.
Okay, great. All right. How's everybody ears? Do I need to turn it up? Is everybody okay?
It's great.
We
Sounds
hear
good.
you perfectly. Yeah.
Well, I hear Michael plays a little bit loud. Is that true, Michael?
He's getting Mike,
What?
they're asking you a question. You like playing
You can
loud?
answer. Hey, Leslie, just say yes.
Okay.
hear you. What? I can't hear anything. Huh? What?
Yes, he plays loud.
Okay, fair enough. Laura, continue.
Drum kit.
Yeah, but we have to play loud because the drum kit's like a cannon.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, we
Greg,
got
the
some
26
booms
inch
coming out of that
picture.
drum kit, that's for sure.
It's true.
Craig has that big ass drum going on now, so it's like that's what Ken Cooper had in the boys. He had a custom made 26-inch Slingerland set,
Nice.
and it was louder than oh man, yeah. Well, here, you hold on to it. You talk. I'll talk.
I can't.
Last time it was just on my chin. You guys, all you guys can see is my
Yeah,
the
my
back of my
bro.
head. Hey, Craig,
What?
a fongu.
Okay, so what are we doing here? I'll kind of set it up here and Pete can take over, but
Hi,
so,
Laura.
I'm Laura. Craig and Leslie, we sort of know I know Leslie's been to my house.
Yes, I know you.
Craig,
Wonderful.
What is Moo? Lori Counts' bands played with you guys, played with Tafoya, so we may have met at some point, probably at Brauer House back. over
Brauer
there.
House. We did the Jeff
We
Beck
did.
thing.
We did that.
Yeah, that was a cool gig, you guys. Yeah, when Mike Tafoya and
I have-
Lori Counts on stage. Pete, I'll send over a video of those guys ripping it up. It's pretty.
Did they shut it down? Is that what happened at Brauer House?
Yeah, it's closed.
They
And
had Mike
someone-
Tafoya playing it.
Yeah, after we played, he said, "No more of this noise."
Yeah. So Pete is my brother in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know
Laura's my sister.
what map you have there in front of you, but Pete's doing
Different
a
map.
podcast. he has 2 or 3 different podcasts going at once. He does all sorts of stuff. So he's doing a music. He'll have to explain what it is, but it's like the Chicago Music Land podcast. And he's had different bands on every week. And Mike Orfanos is in the Mosquitoes, and he plays the bongos and other percussion. And the two of them, the 2 boys there, have this rolling podcast, and the guests change every week, and just trying to get the word out, listen to different opinions of the bands and opinions of how the music scene's going in the Chicago area, and that Pete's thing. So I'm here just along for the ride and making the connection between you guys. We had Mike Tafoya on last week, but we just had too many technical difficulties to make it a good well, it was a good show because
it was just fine.
Hysterical. Yeah, it was hysterical, but I thought Mike Tafoya should get a second bat at this because he's a good performer. He's got a lot to say, a lot to share. So I thought give him a second chance, and maybe we can whatever.
Second chance. We're lucky to have him on again.
We're lucky to
we got the crew on.
Yeah, okay. So that's my introduction.
I was ready for you.
A meet B, and you guys take over.
Think of it as like we're showing up at the club, we're showing up at the bar, we're having a little chat, talking about what's going on. Like before you guys came in, we were talking about the Stones. Mike was checking them out at Soldiers Field, not Soldier Field, Soldiers Field. And what were the ticket prices, Mike?
Well, my tickets were in the 300 level, so 334, but kind of on the side. And it was nice because they had banks of speakers, it wasn't just coming from the stage. There were speakers like halfway through the field. So we had speakers right in front of us, huge screens. Tickets were $179. And then with all the stupid surcharges, convenience fee, there's nothing convenient about me going on and, on the internet and buying the tickets. But anyway, it came out to about $220 when it was all said and done.
Boys.
I saw him 75. It was $25. And actually, our manager bought me in Dirt tickets. It's the only time Dirt and I ever hung out.
So you were at the show too, Mike?
Oh no, I was at the stadium in 75.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I like his ticket price better than mine.
But yeah, that was when Billy Preston. Get the cat out of here, please.
Meow. That's a mad cat right there.
Yeah, mad cat. Yeah, fine. He's got 3 cats here, and the one
that's 27 lives.
Yeah, right. No, I think I've scared about 3 apiece out of them. No, I didn't. I'm not. I just tell them to leave me alone. They do. They run her.
So Mick Jagger's 80, and he's up there jamming. I see that he has a routine up there. Any guess to what that routine is, or is it just a lot of injections before the show? Anybody want to pitch in?
His dad was an athletic director, so he's been running since he was a teenager in the early 60s, late 50s. So he's had that same routine going. Even when he used to get really high and stuff, he was still always doing that. That's why you see him. His whole thing is about that. Remember, he had a heart operation a couple of years ago, and he came right back and played. He's in good shape, obviously.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't see myself jumping and running around, and I'm 70. Hate it.
You want to speak to Keith Richards?
What about it? I used to be on Facebook. We were friends on Facebook.
Well, people really make fun, but he's still doing it, right?
Oh, he's great. He's great. Yeah. He's great guitarist. His knowledge of music, him and Ronnie Wood, actually, but, Ronnie Wood came up back and he was like the fan. He played with Jeff Beck, and then he was with, and then him and Rod Stewart quit Jeff Beck and did the Faces, so he was out there doing that shit. But yeah, they both can play. But yeah, man, Charlie Watts, I loved his drumming because he could just throw a feel. And see, Keith, when he plays, it's not always 4/4. He'll feel something, go, let's change it. And Charlie knew how to follow him and lead in and out. And it was just, they had this uncanny thing, that they could feel beats. What's wrong? Nothing.
Years and years of playing together,
Yeah, probably. And going through that whole experimentation age back in the 60s and getting through it. But Charlie was always just a real serious guy. I mean, I heard stories about him. One time, Keith and Mick were, I don't know, at New Orleans or something, and they were getting all fucked up, and they decided to call up Charlie in the middle of the night, give him shit. And so about a half hour later, there's a knock on the door, and Charlie's in a really just a, dressed to the nines in a suit, came in and punched him in the face and walked out. But but anyway, but if I try to wake up Craig while we're up late,
he's gonna punch you.
More of a kick. I'm a kicker.
Hey, I had a question for you guys. How did you guys meet? How did the three of you become Tafoya?
Our hairdresser, right, Craig?
Yeah, definitely. Elise started it.
She connected me and Craig together back in 2019. Get on both of us, Les.
I need to hold.
Anyway, yeah, and so she told me about him, I guess, and told him about me. And so then I called him up, and we kind of talked for a while, trying to figure out if he's really worth the darn.
Are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah, then we got Leslie.
Before, Craig. Craig, what did you do before this gig?
So our previous band was Soul Patch Monkey. So we played that band. We were together for almost 22 years, I think.
Wow.
And, we, in the end, we were playing 2 to 5 nights a week. So during the summer, it was nonstop. So
yeah, these are one-nighters too. Yeah.
Yeah. So as things came together with me and Mike, the Monkey was kind of falling apart. Just people get tired of doing the same thing. And I wanted a little more. I didn't want to just play around here. I wanted to play everywhere. So having a conversation with Mike was, let's see where this goes. And let's just take it to the next level. And I would say we're doing that. Granted, we had a little break here because I was building that house, so we didn't really have shows cooking for about the last 7 months. And all of a sudden, they're piling up now.
Yeah, it's like we went from nothing to 0 to 800 like 5 seconds.
Well, I went home.
Well, yeah, but
and then came back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Leslie. She had something to do with it too. She was gone.
I went back home to Colorado to see my husband.
You went 3 times.
Yeah.
Craig went on a cruise. I sat around here and stewed.
No cruise. I was hammering nails.
Yeah. Well, no, the Alaska trip.
Oh yeah, that was October.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
then you came home and got sick for a week.
No, I busted my hip.
Well, yeah, that was later. That was early December.
Well, I busted mine. I shattered mine, but
yeah, that's not the sure.
That was 2 years ago.
Leslie, were you in a band before these guys? Where'd you play?
I was in numerous bands.
What was your last one?
All over the country. I was with the Tankeray, Tankerays. I was with them for 11 years. That guy, Brian Mora, he's like my 5th cousin, and I was working for him.
What kind of bands are we talking about? All originals, mixture? Like, clue me in.
Her band was
Rockabilly.
Rockabilly.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did albums, but like when I saw the videos of her back in 2016, because she was talking about maybe trying to play bass, and I'm going, she's running this band. She had the only one that had a sound. She's the one who's doing the videos. She was in charge of it all. But when you watched them, they had a crappy guitar player. Excuse me, that's just a fact.
Well,
the drummer was like on a 0 to 200, he was a 0.5, and and you see Leslie in the back, but she had the best sound. I'm going, I can't afford her. And then in 2019, when Craig and I talked, we started playing. We had another guy, Ron Laskin, playing for us with us, and he wasn't going to stay. And so she got a hold of me, and she came out and tried out for us. And I I could hear the way her and Craig play together. She plays more like how Dave Angel would play bass. It's not like a guitar player playing dee 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 dee. You're playing notes. They're playing the pickup stuff, playing out the kick, as well as playing the parts. You know, playing the snare part. You know, the down beats. They're playing the. They're. She did the same kind of feel, and I heard the first 4 songs. You know, just they were just jamming thing, and I just go, oh man, I've tried out so many drummers for so many years now, or bass players, and find one they can actually play. And then I have a drummer who doesn't overplay and does superfluous crap. The only superfluous crap he does is when he's, you know, getting grouchy. Ah ha ha.
Yeah.
Grouchy.
No, but you know, I just saw that this was like, wow, it's my magic carpet ride. That's what I called it, because I felt that I had this thing that was buoyant, but yet solid, and I could stand up on top there and I could shoot arrows and send love notes and stuff, whatever. You know, I could just do what I'm supposed to.
Your head.
Yeah. Some of them, I use the boomerang on ones too, and but I mean, I'm just saying, it just sounded so good. And when we originally started, we were going to have a 4th member. Remember that, Craig?
Oh.
Right.
Yep. But she got sick, so we ended up just using her as a producer. But she was going to do the same thing she did on the record. I told her I didn't need a lead singer. We don't need to be a girly band. It's Tafoya. We're a rock band. And she understood it because she had her own career. She had her own solo thing happening. I wasn't being misogynist. I just told her I want to do a rock band. And she goes, this would be great because it'd be out of my wheelhouse type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got sick. So we ended up hiring her just to do the production, you know, help her with it when she did all that on the record. But yeah, so we had this thing started. Craig and I started playing. And when we first talked, he's going, yeah, he wanted to get out of around here. And I said, well, I don't want to just do cover tunes. That's just anybody can do that stuff. And he goes, oh, that's cool. And I'm going, wow. Usually when I mention that to people, they haven't done it before. They go, why do you want to make a record again for? I go, what? Why not? You know, I did it. That's what I do. And he was totally amenable to it. And we both just said it. And he said the one thing to me that just sold it already. He goes, I'm in it to win it. I went, got me. I'm sold.
Where are you guys playing?
So we have a bunch of local stuff coming up right now.
Let's plug some shows, Craig. Sell some tickets.
I don't even know where we're going. I just go.
Saturday we're in Ottawa at Shakers, and then the Saturday, that's the 7th. Then the 13th, the Saturday, next Saturday, we're in St. Charles at the Alibi. And both those gigs start at 8. The Shakers starts at 8 unless it's raining, then we're going to go inside and start at 9. But the Alibi, we just play 8 to 11. So both shows are 8 to 11. So that's nice. You can get home and eat and chill and relax before 2 a.m. That's kind of neat. Even when we have to drive. We're home. I was in Fox Lake by midnight last weekend. But I don't even remember now. After that, then we're in DeKalb. We're playing a bunch of places.
DeKalb. That's the next one, I think.
Yeah.
Stage Left in DeKalb, Hayes Smokehouse in LaSalle, Nose in Plainfield, Rookies in St. Charles, Chicago Loop in Streamwood. So yeah, you got a huge lineup here.
And we're doing that.
Some out of state stuff coming too.
Yeah, and we are also on that. I didn't send you the newest one. We added the 27th of July. We're in at that Harley Davidson Countryside.
Yes.
Yeah, the Countryside Harley Davidson. We're going on. We started at 11, I think.
In the morning?
Yeah. So we're. Oh no, I'm gonna get your.
That's great. I can be in bed before. I can be in bed before 9.
Yeah, you can have a couple of chocolate martinis too.
Absolutely.
Craig, I want to try that now.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Just one though, not 3.
Not 3 on an empty stomach.
I'll be dead.
You'll be fine. Who does the booking for you guys?
I would have to
Who
say
makes the calls?
All 3 of us make. We take calls from different people. So I have a couple guys that call me. We set it up. There's a couple that call Mike. Les hooks a couple every now and then. So And we
I put
have
stuff
to have
out
our,
on the internet.
We all do. Yeah.
we just have to have our schedule available quickly to answer people.
Yes.
You know, and we have to set ourselves up where, you know, if we're here, let's say from June to September, if a gig pops up, we take it.
Yeah, like last weekend. Remember you called me Thursday evening or late Thursday afternoon and said you want to play Saturday. I go, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. I'll inundate Fox whatever this is Facebook.
Right.
And,
so we have to kind of plan our personal lives a little bit where, like last year, I took a cruise to Alaska. Well, you know, obviously I'm going to leave. I think Les went home during that same week. Mike did whatever he did.
And Mike's stuck watching my cats.
Yeah.
You guys don't use a booking agent at all? It's all just you guys?
The out of state stuff is we have an agent for that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not exclusive with anybody. So, you know, if somebody pops up with an idea like Craig just said, if someone has a last minute thing, they go, can you guys, we're the pros from Dover, like in the movie MASH. You know, we're ready to go. We'll travel and go do it, and we'll do it right.
Yeah.
I have base, we'll travel.
Our one agent, we have an 8-hour circle. So an 8-hour circle will actually take you to Pittsburgh, Minneapolis, Kansas City, or near Nashville. So if she throws something out there and it's within that 8-hour circle, we'll generally do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've played. Well, last time we were in Knoxville, we did 2 shows that day and then drove straight home.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys take one vehicle, or do you guys everybody drives themselves?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sometimes a tour bus.
No, we're gonna take limos, all 3 of us separate.
Yeah, right.
You know, we're into conservation.
So
I'm
when they're far, we take the bus.
We take
the bus.
We don't take it for it has to be long trips.
Yeah.
We were in New York City. We took the bus.
One time.
Imagine a 40-foot thing downtown New York. Oh man!
Oh my heavens!
Wow.
We couldn't park.
We were in New Jersey, then into Manhattan, then up into the Bronx.
Yeah,
I mean, driving that around and around, and it was like, whoa. I remember we sideswipe at the side of a bridge.
We touched a pipe.
Yeah.
And the little lock, it sticks out about half an inch.
Yeah.
It ripped the little lock off, but it didn't touch anything else.
No.
That was amazing.
I know. I was in the passenger seat and I'm watching this right next to. I gotta close my eyes. I have to close my eyes.
Is Craig doing the driving?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it's his vehicle, and it's better than him watching us and bitching at us. And it's his vehicle.
Wait, Craig, you got a bus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind? You got to send a picture. We'll put it up here.
It's a low profile. It's a big guy, but it's not decorated with Tafoya stuff all over it.
No.
Guys don't let me use the bathroom.
Nobody is. You never do that.
Or the shower.
They don't ever do that.
Number one only.
Number one. Man,
that's right.
I've been on tour with big world tour buses, where they have big bands, and nobody does anything but number one.
Nothing.
She keeps complaining. I go, Leslie, stop it.
Use the shower.
No.
Do you have any advice to rookies that go out on the road and travel?
Only number one in the bus.
Yeah.
Okay. That's number one. Okay.
That's number one. And then number two.
Wait. What are you doing number two?
Don't
You have to wait till the bus. You have to wait till the truck stop.
You gotta wait.
Walmart.
Diaper?
Well, yeah, it depends.
Yeah. Just had a spike in the ratings.
When you travel together, don't spread your shit out of your bag all over the place and have people walk around it and kick it around.
I'm
Like-
bad like that.
Leslie like just start dumping shit around. I'm going, Les, stop it.
Makeup
And
all
Craig
over
will
the
go-
place. My shoes, my shirts, all my pants are over there, and nah. And Craig's like, "Will you please get this out of here?"
We already
Okay,
he raised
okay.
kids. He raised kids. He didn't even
Yeah.
raise another one.
Well, I'm messy. Well, not really, but
I'm
You
not
are when
really
you-
a please kind of guy. Clean this shit up, man.
Yeah.
no, you're like, "Pick this up right now," and I did.
Well, he's not being arbitrary either.
No, I know it.
He's
Yeah,
just-
I was looking for something,
He's
so I
being a
was
big
taking.
rough bear, right? Right there, Craig.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
it.
looking for something, so I emptied my bag because I was looking
Leslie,
for something.
it's
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
Craig,
Settle down, little kid.
Craig, at the end of the night, who helps you with the drums, man?
No one.
I mean, what can we do?
Mike
We have-
understands this.
Listen, I don't set anything up until after he finishes the drums anyway, because I don't really can't really he's not on a drum riser, so I sit and wait. And at the end, we're gathering up chords and doing that kind of stuff. Anyway, we bring PA and everything, so the mic cables, the microphone stands. I try to help
It
with that.
depends where we're at and who's doing the sound. So the big shows, it's all set up. All you do is walk in, set up,
Yeah.
walk out.
Right.
If we provide sound for these local things, you just set
Yeah,
up.
we did that one. Didn't we do that one big club that had a PA, Madcats? We did that a couple times. That real big, gigantic place.
Mm-mm.
Well, they had a PA. They set up mics and everything.
Did we blow the
No.
doors off that one?
Turn down.
Too loud.
Yeah, we were too loud, they said.
So where are some of the bigger places you guys have played?
So the stuff on the East Coast, those were all theater type shows.
Yeah.
Well, we
It-
played at that place in Atlantic City.
Yeah, they all were. New Jersey was the other.
Yeah, I
two.
like that place.
Boston, New Jersey, Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Manhattan,
Boston.
Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the name of the one in New Jersey?
Oh,
I loved it.
you had the T-shirt from that.
I don't remember.
Oh man, that's where the sound
Clifton,
guy
New-
was the
Clifton,
bass
New
player.
Jersey. That was-
Clifton, New Jersey.
Yeah, remember the sound man? He was from what's that
Oh,
guy's
Boston.
name?
Steve Zing. He was the bass player from Danzig.
Danzig. Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
okay.
Yeah.
So
He was nice.
this is a good story actually. So we come in, everybody knows you're the band, and we're hanging out with the sound man. Well, the sound man wouldn't say shit. He just would not say anything. So we get up, we do our show. All of a sudden, this guy is like our best buddy. He finally cracks loose. Well, he just lets us know that he's Steve Zing. I'm the bass player from Danzig. I'm like, God damn it, I knew it. I couldn't place his name, but I'm like, you just know who this guy is. It was pretty funny.
Well, he liked the fact that we played originals and we all knew how to play our instruments, and we played interesting things as we rocked. We just didn't do Led Zeppelin, or we didn't do whatever. And her cats are something, and they don't care what the cat fucking looks like. The cat looks
No stairway.
No
That's
stairway.
Fever.
So how do you guys, like, when you're going and playing you're playing a city and they don't know you, they don't know Tafoya. How do you promote the gigs?
Well, I mean, come on. How much different is it here? I mean, I was in the Boys so many years ago, and then the Bees after that, and then I've done Tafoya things, but it's not like it was like I'm on the radio. I mean, people nowadays are. I mean, everywhere you play, you just have to be willing to play for somebody new.
That's not quite what he's asking, but I will tell you, as soon as you get out of Illinois or south of Springfield in these other states, these joints are hopping. They are packed, no matter who's there.
Yeah.
But then when they hear us, they're like,
Are they looking for cover bands, or they're looking for original stuff?
So if you have to be in the correct circuit. So the agent gets you into that scene. So she'll set up 4, 5, 6 shows because I have a job. I have to get back home. So we'll go do 4, 5, 6 shows, but she sets it up where, they know what's coming.
Yeah.
They book you with like-minded bands or something similar, so they know what's coming that night. And then I'm telling you, the southern states are hopping almost 100% of the time.
Wow.
It's great. I mean, packed.
So how would you explain the reason for that? Like, yeah, why is it so cold up here and so hot down there?
You know what? I know people in bands for the last 30 years. They're from
Maybe
LA, New York, or wherever. They come to Chicago. They like playing in the city, but they hate playing in the burbs because
they're warmer people.
They go, play Journey. But in the city, they're actually listening to what you're playing. They have ears. I swear to God, I played on Boys Town up there, and I remember it was a straight bar. It was cool. It was fun. And I mean, they knew what songs. They even knew our originals. We'd tell them this is this, and and they kept up. Where everybody out here, they're going, can you turn down? I just want to get on the phone with my girlfriend.
What
or something, or
that's kind of insulting.
Oh, it's just what they're used to.
It's insulting.
No, it isn't. That's how they talk on here. That's how they deal with music. They'd rather hear a DJ anyway, and they can tell them what they want to play.
Then we don't belong there.
I know.
Well, it is funny. It is funny to get to these places and they're singing the original songs along with you. That's pretty cool. You're far away. Yeah, there's another thing that comes up for our song. So we have, it was only a 5-song CD, the first one, but that was specific for our agent to send to other agents. Well, you get to these other towns and one song is super popular in like Florida, one's super popular on the East Coast, one's popular in the mountain states. So we kind of get these analytics and we see, wow, this is kind of weird we're just some guys from Chicago, but yet it's breaking down the way it is. And here these people are singing your stuff, 1,400 miles away. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of that is also, it's that Tin Pan Alley thing. I mean, you write a song, you want to make it, if you want to make it so it's memorable, you kind of give them something to remember. I mean, Led Zeppelin get away with Dare Maker, which you don't even hear the words, and whatever. But I mean, we're doing our songs, but they all have different feels. But I think also people actually, when they see us play, we're not up there just like, like dressed up like we're on Sunset Strip. We're not dressed like we're like Hollywood or dressed up like we're New York, this or that, or something else. We come in, we dress up like we're rock and rollers. Obviously, we all have a separate look, and we come up there and we play our instruments. And we have good instruments and good equipment. But I mean, and we rock it, and we actually can play our stuff, and we have command of our show, our act. I think anyway. That's how I look at it differently than probably Greg does.
So I'm sorry to jump in here. I don't want to change the subject, but I don't know if you guys or anyone's familiar with Rick Beato. He's a producer on. He's got a YouTube channel with like 4 million people subscribed. Yeah. So he had a recording on today. I don't know, today or this week, where he talked about this. He said that the interest in, especially original music, but the interest in music in general, the interest in art, regardless of the medium, has declined in whatever period of time, last 10 years probably. That no one is interested in anything creative. Whether it's again original music or any kind of music. And so he had this graph. He did his little research. And the graph showed that people are interested in social media because, in whatever, fill in the blank why it's so easy, and the interest in any music, whether it's opera, whether it's country, whether it's hip hop, whether it's anything, rock and roll, pop, whatever, even Taylor Swift, like whatever, even the popular people, the interest in any music has declined. So we're just talking in terms of, generational issues or the advance of the internet and social media, all of those things. And then as you guys are talking, Craig's talking about, all of you guys are talking about the difference between the North and the South. So geographically, there's differences in these music trends, but also, over, whatever the past 10 years in the
Well, that agent that Craig was talking about, her and I used to talk about this even 10, 12, 15 years ago. She's from Chicago. She was out in LA. And she goes, she loves original rock and roll, especially from Chicago. She goes, we're now underground where 20 years ago or more, it was disco and rap and stuff like that. And we're now we're, and you have these new artists. And and she goes, well, you, Mike, what you do is like re-emerging artists, because you've already done it, you have a history, but you guys play really good. And I had another agent who used to book Kansas and all these people, and I remember him and I talked like 20 years ago, and he's like saying, he goes, I book these oldies kind of 70s and 80s bands, and they play everywhere, and their audiences are young and old, because when you see these young bands play, they're up there just kind of aping these songs and playing, and they're not really playing. They're playing it more like they're playing to somebody playing a video game or something, or it just, and most the last 20, 30 years, people have grown up from Hanson to all this stuff. It's all Disney crap, and it's kind of all samey. And then, the boy bands and the girl bands, the Spice Girls and all that other stuff, and it's pretty formulaic, and the old days, like Frank Zappa even said in the 60s, it wasn't run by the cool guys. It was run by a bunch of guys that didn't know anything about music. So they said, oh, people like it. Let's release it. And you had more interesting things come out. And then it started getting homogenized, and then it started filling these gaps. And then all of a sudden the gaps closed down and everything got really tight. And then you can only do this much, your leeway, right or left, is very small. Your lane drive, you didn't have a big lane, and you're like, and it just tightened up everything. And I, like in the 90s, I remember when all the hippie bands and then all the girl solo artists, but then you had the Blues Traveler and stuff like that, and these and Fish. Oh my God, I mean, they're just doing Grateful Granddad stuff, and it's all cool, but it's like it's just for the hippies, and I play in these college towns, and you have these guys doing we just do jam band stuff, and the guy sitting there, he has a guitar on fuzz tone, he's using his feet, just slapping across the neck and the strings, and they're just making noise, and it's all cool, and they're trying to do the creative thing, but they weren't really trying to mold your art into something that's tangible, that what I said, like conjugating stories, beginning, body, inclusion. You make songs that make sense. Everything happens for a reason, and you can have different forms, but still it's all, that's what I think. And but nowadays I think that's why music like Rick Beato, I've watched him for decades now or more. He wasn't all gray haired when I first saw him. And now he interviews all the big stars. He wasn't doing it. I was first watching him all the time. But I mean, and he breaks it all down. He's into Joe Pass, and he loves all this really cool music as well. He loves good rock and roll too. And I watched the Stuart Copeland thing. And Stuart is old now. He was 38, 40 years ago. And he was with Eric Burdon and the Animals. Sky Pilot. And so he goes way back, and it's just he interviews everybody. He's really into it, but he records, and he'll break shit. He'll break things down, but like you said, he brought the charts out, graphs or something, the listener and and buying and selling records. And I just think that a lot of people, I mean, when you play for people and they have to sit and listen to it, and they go, oh wow, this is actually good. You guys are really good. I like this, because it's not like some canned, Avenged Sevenfold thing, and they were good, but I mean, their songs didn't stick out to me, like even Hawkwind, and that was pretty crazy shit. But I mean, Zeppelin or whatever, the Boston to, I mean, who was that? Breakfast of something, right, bloody well, right, and stuff, just all this cool stuff that was coming out, and it wasn't all the same. And then by the 80s, it got samey. Then they all started wearing these big long chin things. They call them,
don't. You're
I'm making fun of Craig.
We're ragging on Craig.
No ragging. No ragging on the show, please. Do you think we're
talking about
really offended?
Are we really reliving the early 70s again where you had that soft
You're
music?
breaking up, dude.
Am I breaking up? Am I broken?
Mike is.
Mike, oh yeah. Well, that's by design, buddy.
The kids today like soft music. My kid's 31, 32, and says, Dad, you got to check this out. I'm like, oh God, this is so soft and, mellow, folksy. And it just reminds me of like the 70s when, Fogelberg was around and then punk came in. Am I off? Why do the psychologist Laura, why do kids like soft music now? They're conflict avoidant.
Your son's in his 30s. He's not a kid anymore. He's a kid to you.
Woo-hoo. You should be talking to Mike Tafoya about that question. Rick Beato, I forgot to say in my whatever earlier speech that he also said that the interest in video games are down. Like video games are too much work also. And people are just kind of locked into not having to put out a lot of effort. And I'm not answering your question about why people like soft music, but I think there's a point here that there's what you expect to hear, and you go in with an expectation. I want to hear a 1-4-5 chord progression because it's easy on the ear. There's no tension. There's no mystery. There's nothing. You go out. I want you guys to play what I know. Like, don't make me listen to you because it's effort. And so that seems to be the. If that's the trend, maybe
is less effort. I don't know if people are getting lazy. I don't know what.
Yeah,
but
we're the easy thing, right?
Yeah, we're trying to do the classic rock, but in a new way.
It's old school now sound. Come on, we make it happen, but we're not trying to follow some.
We're not following anybody.
Yeah, we're not trying to follow some trend or anything.
No.
It doesn't matter. Because if it's good, it's good. There's only two types of music, right? Good and bad. That's the actual truth about the whole deal.
I thought it's either you make money or you don't.
Well, it's not about making money all the time either.
Yeah, because Mike's rich, right?
Oh, seriously. I mean, you read any of the big stars, they talk about they didn't go in it for just the money. Of course they want the money. But that wasn't what drove them. They kept trying to grow and be creative.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just follow in that rut, and then you become that one hit wonder, and you sound like the same thing. I mean, AC/DC, they still grew, but yet they found this niche. And Angus used to always say, "Man, this is in the '90s." He goes, "Yeah, I've done 8 albums and all the same song." He's making fun of himself. But he goes, and then I read Guitar for the Practicing Musician. And he's learning Hell's Bells.
I used to get that.
Anyway, they're doing Hell's Bells. And he goes, I didn't play it that way. Okay, I had to relearn my song from these people. They didn't know how to play, but they're eggheads. They're writing all these charts out. I mean, you have to be pretty fucking focused and bored to take apart somebody's song and then put it on tablature and put it on notation, and do that. It doesn't seem like a very creative thing to me. It's more of an exercise, and I don't know, but I just know that people now they're not into creating, a lot of them. And when they do create, it's like we were talking last week about, I remember me and Kenny Voss, he's the guy who originally did the Illinois Entertainer, and we went out to Malo's one night. I met him there. I didn't even know he was there. It was a Thursday night, and this band Gambler was there, and it wasn't the original guys. And they had that Vicky Fox guy that ended up with Enough's Enough and stuff like that. And anyway, and he's like we're talking about these tribute bands, and I go, well, I think, and we both agree that a lot of these new bands came out. I mean, the Thirsty Whale bands, this heavy, hair bands. Well, I'm doing all these bands, other bands out of Chicago did originals. Well, we didn't come out swinging with originals. I mean, we wrote most of the album in '76, and we're still doing 4 sets a night, 6 nights a week, all over the fucking country. And we only played 3 or 4 of our songs in 4 sets. We're learning our craft as well. We're not just getting out there and going, yeah, let's do this. I want to have beer. Come on, guys, let's get together and have her, or something stupid. And well, not stupid, but it's just, they didn't, I don't know. You got to try to make it into something that's makes you want to compel you to listen to a little bit more of that same song, and then the next song, and each song. You don't just kind of throw something up and it just sounds like they're shooting like a monkey flinging poop. That's to me is what it sounds like, and that's we figured out. That's why all these tribute bands really took over, because people they wanted to hear a rock and roll band, and if they're gonna hear some band going, blah, 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 it's playing whatever it is, and they don't present it right, even if it's a great song. If it's not, the band doesn't do it well, and somebody doesn't have a cohesive conscience.
I agree. Tribute bands suck.
Hey, Pete.
Well, no,
they're
Well,
mindless.
especially
They're
if it's
absolutely
like
100% mindless, and we'd rather have a original. That's a word.
Original.
And
Sorry.
that's an original word.
It happened.
It's a whole.
Hey, I'm a
nother conversation.
conversationalist.
Yeah, right. Dr. Laura, right? So actually, I was thinking about Pete's question earlier. Is it possible that kids these days, I'm sounding like grandma, aren't angry? Like when I was listening to AC/DC, I was angry. I was angry at nothing, but I was angry. So it supported how I was feeling. And so is it fair to say the kids these days don't have aggression? I don't mean that in a negative way. They don't have a passion. Well, I wouldn't say
They haven't gone without.
Right. Yeah, they haven't struggled.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe that.
Right.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I mean, I had to work
Throw it
my
in.
butt
Yeah,
off
throw it
when I
in.
was a kid.
Well,
I
the
worked, yeah, I worked my butt off just to get where okay, you want to, I can't, I have a thing. Back to meeting. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm sorry about that. No, I mean, I worked my butt off. I'm sorry, I'm missing my partial here, so I'm going to cover this. I worked
We'll
my
edit that
butt
out in
off.
post. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I worked my butt off since I was 12 years old, and I had to give my parents money, from my paycheck, and that was those days. I come from an immigrant family, so, that's what you did. And wow, these days I don't understand. I don't know. It's like the kid has a car. Oh, I had to buy my car.
Hey, what does that have to do with being in a band?
No, but I worked my butt as far as playing bass. I mean, I tried. I worked my butt off. I was in all kinds of crazy bands in the Chicagoland area in the late 80s, early 90s. I was in Atlanta in a jam band. I did that. I was in Boston in a cover band. I mean, I did whatever I had to do. And then I went back to school when I retired at 45. I said, I'm going to finish this degree. And I did.
It didn't help her at all, but
yeah.
No,
No.
I'm giving you crap. I'm teasing you.
I get it.
Craig's over going, no shit.
Yeah. No, actually, Mike is I'm learning more in this band than I did in school. School just teaches you the basics. Okay. But
yeah, we teach you things like less camel toe.
Oh, you didn't have to let that one out.
I'm Tafoya, I'm joking.
I'm not saying a damn thing.
I'm not.
Welcome to the demonetization show of the HOG POD podcast.
This will go viral. Are you kidding?
We're
This
not
is the
about
most
that.
viral show on the internet.
Every show's copyrighted. Who cares?
Rick Beato is going to be talking about us.
So, but isn't it a catch-22 where we were brought up, or most of us were brought up, that we had to make our kids' lives easier than what we had, so we had to work hard. So you make their lives easier and they get soft. And now they're soft and they have so many choices. If you don't meet the right expectations, what they're looking for, then they have 20 other things that they can choose from, right?
Well, and also, like what
hard.
Laura was talking about the Rick Beato, but people, the graph, people listen to a lot less music. I was just thinking about that today. I was driving around and stopping these places, and I was thinking, the weather was kind of, it seemed almost like May weather because it got a little cooler. And I was thinking to myself, when I graduated high school, everywhere I went, we had the radio going. I was hearing everything from, One Less Egg to Fry by, Marilyn McCool and the Fifth Dimension to, School is out forever,
Alice
and
Cooper.
Frankenstein, and I mean, it was just rock and roll stuff,
Johnny
but
Lamb.
you heard the soft rock and you heard radio played everything. Now it's so every radio station is just so, like I said, it's just we have this much leeway out of their formats, and you don't hear everything. And when they do it, they slam all these songs. You don't know who they are and what they're about. And a lot of songs sound kind of samey. And in the old days, I mean, you heard
Kind of crappy.
Well, I'm not saying it's crappy, but I just don't know what it is. And after a while, it becomes a din because you're hearing so much of this, the same thing. It
I
sounds
listen
like
to podcasts with ghost stories. I don't listen to radio no more.
Again, see, people aren't listening to music. That's what I was getting at. I always go the long way
Because
around.
it's not good. It's poopy.
I don't listen to any music.
What?
Where do you find music nowadays? There's very few music stores. Best Buy doesn't even have music anymore, very little. So you get it all streaming. And what happens is you get this stuff that's streaming and you get, they listen to one song from that artist. They don't listen to the whole album. They just download and listen to the one song. So there's no way to get it out there. Nobody buys albums anymore. Nobody buys, I say nobody, but not a lot of people buy CDs. I'm one of the few guys that goes to a show and says, I want to buy the CD so I can have the actual CD in my hand.
The wax tracks.
For you. Right, Craig? We have a CD for you to come out. We have one. You'll like
I'm
it.
going to get it.
So we made the CDs so we could essentially sign them. We treat them like a business card. If people want our signatures, well, we'll sign it for you, and then they'll go find it streaming because they can't pop them in their cars anymore.
And the other thing is, people they don't pay for it. Like when we go places and I go, yeah, we got this, and they go, I'd rather pay you. Older people will do that. Younger people will go, my friend, I think we can download it. I'll just take it off of his thing. Now they don't pay.
Nope.
And to them, it's not pirating because it's always been done that way. We're from an era for a long, long time where anything you got, it was a physical copy of something. It wasn't something that was designed and packaged. Even when AM radio was only less than 3 minutes or less. But you had to own it if you wanted to hear it as much as you want. Now you can just put it on there, download it, you just listen to it till you get sick of it and then never listen to it again, which that's what happens. And even Frank Zappa talked about that. He goes, in the old days we used to have to buy something and everybody bought something, and so they listened to it and they owned it. They owned a piece of you and they owned a piece of that. It was a part of them. Now it's just on there, put it up there, and it's gone. Who cares what's on the other station? 300 stations and nothing to watch.
Well, we got to change that. We basically have to have the music good enough to get that
music's
interest.
Good enough. It's just you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
And eventually, people are going to want more than just that. That's younger people. I see that now. And so they got into that. What's that one band out of Detroit?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person.
No, they have a girl's
Eminem.
name. No. That's a rap guy. It's a girl's name. Something. They sound.
Ashley?
Van Fleet.
What?
That's it.
Yeah,
Van Fleet.
Yeah, I mean, this 23-year-old daughter, a friend of mine, I was having Christmas dinner with them, and then she comes over and turns that on, and I'm listening to it, and I go, they're not even that interesting, but but the young people like it because it's like Led Zeppelin. The guy's up there playing keys and bass, and the guitar players, there, and the drummer and the singer's walking around his bare feet, like he's Robert Plant or Chris Robinson or something stupid, not stupid. I mean, some of that nature. And they're listening to it, and I go, it's that form, it's rock and roll. So there's not, and they really like it. It's just they're used to hearing what, I don't know. They go to see that band, and they're not listening to music yet. They're just kind of getting into it. But a lot of times people don't even listen to music. I go places and I was just walking into a store and going, everywhere I went, you got a car, you heard somebody's radio going or somebody's stereo. And they're blasting some music, and they're not now. I know people that don't even listen to music at all now, and they're younger. And that was a template of my life, and everybody I knew, even the guys that did not play, they would come to me. What's cool? What's good to listen to? What am I hearing? And I go, oh, this kind of band does this, and but everybody was into it. and you don't see that as much. And you can't change people. What you have to do is gradually nudge them, and then they listen to you, but then try to tell them it's not just one artist. There's room at the top for everybody. Everybody's correct. Your opinion, whatever you have, I don't have to agree with you, but but find something you like and then like it, and then support it. But especially support it. People do not support artists.
What's the newest, less crappiest band that you all like? That's
I don't
good.
listen to music more. I mean, I listen to.
That's a tough one.
What do you listen to, Greg? That's new.
What do you listen
Me?
to? That
Yeah, I mean, what's on
nothing.
what's on your right wing radio station that plays music?
It's poopy.
And Leslie, she listens to podcasts, and I listen to NPR or something, and then
NPR.
or else I just put on sports.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, when you hear the songs, I've heard them 1,000 times anyway. The ones that are good, and then
The radio
So wait,
stinks.
the band doesn't even listen to music?
no.
The radio stinks. I have to listen to my ghost stories on my podcast while I do my Uber deliveries. That's what I
have
do.
music in my head, though, buddy. I'm telling you.
Well,
right.
that's it right there. So you got the jukebox running in your head all the time.
All
but-
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because we had this hiatus for a bit of time here, I would listen to our songs. So because I didn't have time to practice, I would listen to them and practice.
Right. And that's what I did.
And so Mike and I would discuss, we want to change a part, and you have to chew on it. You have the conversation. Well, let's do this to this part. Okay. Well, you never actually physically did it. You did it in your head. Then we finally we did that show the other night. We hadn't played together in 8 weeks. We threw in the new parts.
Yeah, I know.
And I flipped out.
No, you didn't. Leslie.
No, I didn't. No,
I know. That's what we do. I don't listen to other stuff anymore.
I'm okay
because
with it.
I've heard most of it, and anything new I don't know, and I don't hear it. Where am I going to hear something new that rocks you? I mean, I can hear Jay-Z and what's her name?
Beyonce,
and that it all sounds cool, but it's not something I would do.
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
No, it's not just that, but it's just the production now. It sounds like in the 90s when commercials got really fast.
I hate
music.
that.
Now they do that. It's in music. And I remember in the 80s, I was in Hollywood with Bobby Caldwell, guy from Captain Beyond and stuff. I don't know if you heard of them, but anyway.
Love Captain Beyond.
Well, yeah, he wrote that album, and Bobby and I were, we hung out. We wrote a bunch of songs together. But we were talking about because we lived over at one of the studio SIR studio instrument rentals on Sunset and Vine. And we not Sunset, right? Yeah, Vine, that's right. Anyway, but you see then some guy would come in, some girl and tape thing, and she's learning dance steps. And it was like, we're going, oh yeah, some songwriter got with some guy in the studio and it's somebody with a computer, and they just program all shit and just kind of manufacture these singers coming out, and it's like, that's not real. I mean,
it's manufactured.
Well, that's what it is. And
I've been telling you I want a voice fixer.
That's not what we're talking about, Leslie.
I know, but that's what they use with this stuff.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I understand.
You're talking about auto-tune. That's a whole different deal.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
what the fuck did that have to do with anything?
No, but it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not. How? I was talking about how people are manufacturing these supposed solo artists, these girls or this guy, and put something together in the studio that has nothing to do with it. They don't listen to music, and all of a sudden, that's it. And they're the flavor of the month, and then they're gone. And this is back when I was hanging out with a Thumbs and Noses band in Hollywood. I mean, Guns N' Roses.
So I want to know whatever happened to Captain Beyond. I mean, those guys. I mean, I know Rod Evans was the original singer, and then they had another guy in there. And what happened to those?
Rod Evans was the singer of Captain Beyond. What happened was Bobby Caldwell wrote the first album. Then Rhino, the guitar player, and the bass player were from Iron Butterfly. Rhino
Yep.
He decided he wanted to write songs, and so then Bobby left on the second album, Sufficiently Breathless. And I go, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as the next album. And that because Bobby and I, and then he did another album in the 70s with Rod Evans. He's the original singer of Deep Purple. You know, and
that's right.
yeah, you sang Kentucky Woman, and you know,
I remember that.
you know,
He's the guy who sang Hush.
Yeah,
I
and Hush,
remember
Kentucky
that.
Woman, Lelania, the first three
Before,
albums
what's his name?
for Ian. And but he just said that what's his name he wanted to be the songwriter, and Bobby's like, no, that's not. He didn't want to do it, so he left, and that's why that second album wasn't as good, and it didn't expand you. I mean, when you first heard Captain Beyond, you're hearing hard rock done in 5/8.
It was great, man. I could put that album on any day. I love it.
5/4, 1, 2.
This, I gotta. Thank you.
You know, yeah, and that band, when that band came out, and like Flock and these other bands back in like 70, I mean, all this music was like, and It's a Beautiful Day, White Bird.
I remember that.
I mean, it was like soft, and then other things, and you say James Taylor, and you know, I mean, just stuff was just, and Cat Stevens too, you know, I mean, just really good stuff, you know, and I mean, stuff that rocked and stuff that didn't. I mean, some of the Motown things, I mean, Psychedelic Shack and, you know, and all that stuff, and Papa's Rolling Stone, those songs kicked butt. They were rocking more than a lot of these rock bands were doing at that for like a year period. And I just, like I said, people were listening to anybody, and if it was good, they gave it a chance and good. But then it got to be the point where people go, well, I don't know if I never heard it, and I don't feel like I've ever heard it. And that's what, like Craig and I talked when I was putting our stuff, the originals. I said, well, you're gonna make them. They're gonna like the songs, everything we're doing. Each part, even to the the one that's not overthinking it, still goes, oh, that's supposed to be there. It fits right there. It's not just like throwing something weird in there. Like even the Captain Beyond stuff, it made sense, even though it was different. 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it rock out. And it's like going, wow, you have to be good to be able to do that anyway, to play through all these different time signatures and feels and stuff. But they could do it, and it was tough. And when they needed to be, and I don't know, Genesis was pretty weird. And they kept it going. You know who used to go to Genesis concerts in the 70s, early 70s? It was guys in T-shirts and jeans. Girls didn't like going to see that kind of stuff at all.
No women.
Well, I mean, girls would go, but they were like, they would hang out with their guy. But it was the guys were going nuts over this stuff. I mean, and then they turned into this prog rock thing, and then all of a sudden it became like the Tony type of thing to do. I mean, the really cool, smart thing, But I mean, in the early days, it was like going to a Metallica concert. Now you're going to Genesis because it was just that they just wanted something that really gave you something different. Then you'd have Hawkwind. I don't know if you ever heard of them. That was Lemmy's band, and they were essentially Pink Floyd on LSD, or Grateful Dead and Pink Floyd on LSD. And I mean, they were just this hippie band. And noise. They had a guy. They do these long cacophony-filled jams with a flute, fuzzy guitars playing simple leads, and Lemmy on bass just jamming, and the drums going, and yet you'd hear other stuff. Then you hear da 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 da. Let me grab my nuts.
Laura, can we bring Michael back for a part 3?
I think so.
We should do it. We should do it.
Hey, before we close down, I know we need to wrap up because of time. I want to do a shout out to actually Craig's wife. She can you speak a little bit about what your wife's side hustle is with the drum skins?
Sure. So she makes the bass drum heads, kick lids. Essentially, she can do the artwork for you. You can present an idea and she'll turn it into a drum head. And it's actually a pretty specific material they use in the creation of it. It doesn't hinder the sound of the bass drum, and they're great. I happen to have see-through type heads for my bass drum because my drums are lit. So there's capabilities of having the see-through Mylar type material to her solid thickness heads. Any artwork, anything goes. Literally from a sunrise to butterflies to rock and roll to mountains. She can make anything happen for a.
Where do we send them? Where do we send them, Craig?
So her.
Yeah, where's the website?
Let me grab her.
Is
You
it
caught me off guard, Angela.
So just while you're getting that, I want to concur what Craig said. She did the design for both of the drum heads for the mosquitoes. So if you're ever at a mosquito show and you see that really cool drum head, that was her doing the design on that.
Yeah, she's
Great
done ours
work.
too. Yeah, I do our art and I do our merchandise, but I send my art to Angela, and she's done all our drums. I don't know, probably 4 or 5 of them for us over the years. So good work.
We're going to have her link in the details. And then how do we get people to Tafoya? What's the URL on that or Facebook page?
Well, you go to Michael A. Tafoya on Facebook or Tafoya. And then Leslie, and she doesn't ever stop. And it's TafoyaBand.com is our website.
Okay.
But I mean, we have all those things going on. And then but like our drum heads are done by Angela, and she's done our stuff. She does, she did our CD cover. I mean,
she can also make she'll make banners, so stage banners, full size, meaning up to 50 feet wide, 20 feet high, or 4x8 or 3x6.
Yeah, the big background
drum heads.
Yeah, the scrims in the background.
Scrims, the pop-up scrims. She can make covers for your amps, for the guitar amps. So her website is drumheadgraphics.com. Drumheadgraphics.com.
Right here.
Right on.
Boom.
Cool. I like it.
Oh, I like this part 2 with Michael Tafoya. I can't wait for part 3. So we're going to see, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be July 4th. We've already played at Palatine JC Fest. I think we'll be in Rockford for Heart of Glass.
Slam Arboretum.
The Arboretum out there. Bongo Mike, where are you going to be at? What do you got coming up?
Long Grove Festival this Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's a salute to America. They have a little tiki bar out there at Brothers Field. And that should be a pretty fun time. And then we're at the Broken Oar on the 13th, 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. afternoon show, which I always like because I get done early. And then back to Brothers Field on the 20th, playing with Dead Fest. It's a thing called Freshie Fest, but it's all out at Brothers Field in Long Grove. And that's from 6 to 11. So that'll be fun. Couple bands.
All right.
Guys.
Michael, Craig, Laura, Leslie, Bongo, Mike, myself,
Pete.
Nice to meet you, Leslie.
Now, Bongo Mike, that guy there, he knows Craig?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Craig, down there.
I only have 2 pictures on my phone.
Tafoya is like a Pringles potato chip. You just can't have 1 or 2.
You need another one.
Bye, guys.